Hola YouTubers, and welcome to part 2 of the DIY LED project. Today I prepped the wood of the panels, the actual panels themselves, and I also sort out the circuitry between the power supply, the regulator, and the LEDs themselves. So basically I create the volume control, I create the brightness control. I've been doing my amplifier project for way too long. Anyway, so let's get started. Oh yeah, sorry. If you want to see the first part, click here. Otherwise, there's links in the description if you want. You cannot see the annotations, so yeah, come on, let's get started. I have so you have the pieces of wood here. They're all cut to size, and as you can see, it's just plain wood, which needs coating. So what I'm gonna do today, while it's nice and sunny and everything, is varnish them. So I decided to do it out in the garden and out in the sun. And I've just realized that I've forgotten my brush. Hold on. I forgot to bring a screwdriver out, so I'm gonna have to like open this can with a stone. The problem with using these solvents and stuff outside is that these stupid chemicals just attract so many flies and insects or something. I don't know, they come here just to get freaking high or something. I was actually expecting this varnish to be way thicker than it is. It's actually frothy, like it's a freaking smoothie or something. I'm really not wearing the right clothing for this. I'm not even wearing gloves. I really should do that. Clean wood. Did that spider just freaking jump? My god, these insects really want to get freaking high. This is gonna hurt my knees. So I've got an old rug here that I can just at least sit on. I'm used to sitting on the floor, but I'm not used to sitting on bare stones. And thankfully this is, oh, freaking stupid helicopter. Probably just hovering up over me just to see if I'm some sort of freaking criminal or not. These 4 small blocks are going to be the compartment for I mean, I know they're a bit thick. I wish they were like half the thickness, but this is all I had. So it's going to be a very chunky compartment, but it's a compartment for the voltage regulator. The neighbors must be wondering who the freak is this crazy woman talking to herself in her garden. And they'd be right, wouldn't they? Miss Madeline. Right, that's all done. I'm going to rewarm my fingers again because they are freaking freezing. I thought that pigeon was laughing at me. Right, so I'm back inside after varnishing the wooden casing. And what I'm going to do while that's drying and setting, since we have a nice glorious day, it's become even more sunny now. What I want to do is I want to actually test this thing, because since I've like realized that I haven't tested this thing, it's been niggling at some of my neurons that this thing may not work. What if it doesn't work? No. So I want to kind of like test it first. You see, one thing I don't get about this, yeah, I know it bugs me. This stupid do not open. The thing that freaking gets me about this is that you gotta open this freaking thing to see that sign. Why the freak have they done that for? But anyway. Right, okay, so here are the 3 mains wires. What I'm gonna have to do is somehow find a main switch for this, because this itself does not have a switch. put this thing onto DC voltage and plug that in, knowing that that's like exposed. Okay, so it switches on because the fan is going crazy and it's on. Okay, so we have 12 volts coming through this. Man, this is loud. That is a loud fan. I don't think I'm happy with that noise. I need that to be slightly quieter. But either way, the power supply at least works. I think this is gonna require some investigation on how hot this thing actually gets and if I can reduce the speed of this fan. Unless... No, that's way too loud. I'll see what voltage fan that is and I will sort out the resistor for this. Right, so my neurons are now at peace. The thing actually, you know, it works. And there is 12 volt output, which I just tested here, so there we go. Fantastico. Right, so the sun has gone down finally, and I am struggling a little bit with the lighting. What I need to do is I need to get to that fan and the wires to it, so I can just add a resistor inside it to kind of like slightly take the edge off it and quieten it down. A little bit of an awkward position. Okay, so here it is, and the voltage for the fan is 12 volts. Okay, so we see the underside of this, which, to be honest with you, I'm not fully convinced by it, to be honest. Let me kind of zoom you in, and you will see why. The fan is just tapped off the back, and this just seems like I can do a better solder job than this, and and I mean that in a way of, I don't know, I'm not an expert with soldering, but it doesn't look that good. What's your opinion? It's kind of... By this point, I think I have completely and utterly freaking violated that stupid do not open warning sign. You know what? Seriously, I could have done a way better job at soldering this. This has got splatters of solder everywhere. Honestly, what the freak have they soldered this with? A freaking clothes iron or something? Seriously, I mean, everything seems okay, it's just there seems to be some serious scruffiness. No, I was right. And I'm not saying this with arrogance that I can solder better than this, but I can solder better than this, if you know what I mean. Okay, that seems to be a sturdy joint. Right, so we have the negative joint. I've left that as it is. I've just desoldered the positive and soldered another positive here, so we can just put a resistor in the middle of this. Flux there. The solder on this thing, on the circuit board, is nasty. It's just like cheap pasty sort of thing. It didn't even go shiny when you melt it. It's like pasty. So I have no idea what exactly we used, but it's not good. Where the freak have you gone? Electrical tape's got legs. It just walked away from me. Oh, it's here. And whoa! Scared the freak out of me. I'm a bit wary of the solder because it smells of cinnamon. Don't know what to put inside. Ooh, let's just use cinnamon as a freaking filler. Okay, I think that is now running at a good speed. I can feel a good amount of air coming from this. I managed to finally do it. I sorted out that problem. Power supply works, everything is fine. I just need to put this back together and continue with the modding the what do you call it, buck converter here, which is very much is built much nicer. Oh look, there's a warning sign that says do not open. Didn't see that one. Right, so I have linked the mains going in and two temporary 12 volt wires coming out of here. Positive, negative. Well, who knows? They actually might be permanent, not temporary. Let's undo this so we can put the multimeter probes inside. Okay, so that fan spin's are a good thing. This regulator is on, and right at the moment it's at 8.9 volts. Now let's kind of just change this. Just do like 12.4, that's perfectly fine. What we need to do now is connect this to one of the LEDs. Negative. Pushing this thing on and off. Whoa, nice. That is very bright. And I'm impressed. Fantastico! What we need to do now is move all this stuff out of the way. And I will now mod this thing. Okay, so now all I need will be this potentiometer, and a resistor. And also what I'm going to do now is make things a little interesting and play some music in the background. Okay, so let's see which of these I should be connecting to. I'll zoom you in, and this one is a variable resistor. I'm not sure if you know, just in case you decide to get one, it's the one which adjusts the voltage. These three terminals are the ones you're looking at. Now these two bottom ones are connected. If you see, you can measure it, it will in continuity tester, and it will be connected. But you can also see on the circuit board underneath there's a link which links them two together. So that's just a good indicator that these two are just one thing. So what you need to do is basically you just need two of these, the middle one and the end one, either of the end ones. Resistor here onto one of them before tapping it onto that, and that's all it is. Okay, so we just need to tin these, solder these on to here, put some extra solder on here, freaking cinnamon solder. And there we have. Just check it, a slight pull, not too much. So you don't want to pull the freaking terminal off the board. And so what we need to do is put flux on the terminals of this. Okay, so you have two there. Now all you need to do is trim this trim this resistor. I have basically paralleled this external potentiometer to the one on board, as you can see there, and this one, the value of it depends exactly on the one you have on the board. So if on board you have a a variable resistor that is 100k, let's say, so you would get yourself a 100k potentiometer, and of course that resistor sets the lowest brightness of this entire thing, of the LEDs, sorry. So in this case I measured the variable resistor and it was like a whooping 2 mega ohms. So I managed to go and find myself a 2 mega ohm potentiometer, and the resistor which I used was 75k. That limits it. What I will do is I will connect it, as you can see there. Right, so we have this here at the highest brightness. And if I slowly put this down, you can see I can turn it I can turn it up and down. Now what I want to do now is test it with 2 reels, not just one. So basically what I need to do, all I need to do is parallel this. Okay, so both of them are switching on now. Right, so I've got everything done on the electronics part of this, and all I need to do now is just start creating the whole thing now. Right, thank you so much for joining me. Please hit like if you liked what you saw. Feel free to share your thoughts and by leaving a comment down below. Also, the links are in the description to the previous video in the series, and also don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to continue watching this series and more to come. Adios!